this course, and the last section for this class, mental health, that's mental health management. This is module 10, and as I've said initially that this will be our last module for this course. And the topic that we'll be treating in this module is building mental health strength. Don't forget that we are the course is centered all around mental health management. So we've been able to justify the course well enough in our previous topics. That's from module 1 to 9, where we treated different topics that is related to mental health and mental health management. We also looked at the topics like mental health laws and regulations in different countries. We introduced ourselves to mental health management as a whole. We looked at rules and regulations, the do's and don'ts, and the likes. So now we'll be moving on to how to build mental health. We also look at causes and causes of different mental illness and mental issues. So now we'll be working on building mental health strength now. So how do we build mental health strength as an individual or as a family? So that's what we'll be addressing in this module. We have the content to be mental health strength. We'll be looking at the meaning of mental health strength. What does it mean? What does mental health strength means? And after that, we'll move on to cultivating self-awareness. Then after that, we'll move on to establishing supportive physical and lifestyle habits. Then we also move on to developing mindfulness and emotional regulation skills. And lastly, the last subtopic under that will be building and nurturing meaningful relationships. These are the 5 topics that will be subtopics that we'll be looking at under this topic in the for this module. Sorry. Now we have the introduction of for the module to be that to build mental health, it's there to strengthen a deliberate. It's there to strengthen. Building mental health is there to strengthen, not only to strengthen, but it is also a strength. It is also a deliberate and empowering process that equips individuals to face life's inevitable challenges with greater resilience, clarity, and inner stability. It is often referred to as psychological resilience or emotional fortitude. However, it does not imply the absence of stress, anxiety, sadness, or adversity, but rather imply that or has to do with the development of skills and habits that enable effective coping, quicker recovery from setbacks, and sustained well-being. In a world where demands on our mental resources are constant, ranging from work pressures and personal relationships to global uncertainties, cultivating these strengths becomes essential for leading a fulfilling life. It is accessible to everyone, regardless of past experiences or current stages or struggles, and goes through consistent small action rather than overnight transformation. So in this introduction, we are just trying to bring ourselves to share the knowledge with everyone that building mental health is not just about a strength building of mental health, but can be seen or often referred to as psychological resilience. It has to do with resilience or emotional fortitude, in the sense that it does not totally imply that there should be a total eradication of stress, anxiety, sadness, or adversity, and the likes. It doesn't mean that there will not be all these things, but it just simply means that there will be these things. These things that we mentioned, stress, anxiety, and the likes, there will definitely be them, but rather it has to do with how to develop different skills or major skills and habits that can enable effective coping, in the sense that building different skills that will enable us to cope with all these stress and mental health issue, ability to cope with it, and ability to quickly recover from setbacks if we face any challenges at all, and also to sustain well-being and the likes. So it is accessible to everyone. It is not restricted to some set of people alone, but it is accessible to everyone, regardless of whatever they have. Everyone, this individual have passed through, or their current struggle, what they are passing through currently, and goes through consistent. So that's that about this is all the introductory part for us about the building mental health strength. To build mental health strength is not just about total eradication of anxiety and all. There will definitely be all these things, all these mental issues will definitely showcase or erupt, but the ability to stand, to maintain, and to cope with all these issues, that's what everyday mental strength is all about. So now let's move on to mental strength now. So when we're talking about mental health strength, to build mental health strength is the process of developing the inner resources in order to, just like we have mentioned initially, building the process of developing the inner resources to navigate life's challenges with greater ease, recover from difficulties, and maintain a sense of well-being over time. So mental health strength is sometimes called resilience or psychological flexibility. It does not mean never experiencing stress, just like I've said or I've mentioned initially, that it does not mean never experiencing stress, sadness, anxiety, or setbacks. Instead, what it means is that it means having the skills, the habits, and perspective that will be able to allow you to respond to those experiences constructively rather than being overwhelmed by them, rather than being swallowed by them. It is mental health strength is built gradually. It's a gradual process through which it goes through intentional practices across multiple areas of life, and anyone can improve it regardless of their starting point. The journey involves understanding yourself. That's the first thing. As an individual who wants to build mental health strength must firstly understand he himself or herself. Then after understanding yourself, you care for your body. Then after caring for your body, you manage your emotion, the ability to manage whatever emotional situation someone finds himself or herself. Then after that, you connect with others. Make sure you reach out to others and connect with them. Be social. After being social or connecting with others, you try to find ongoing meaning. So these 5 areas below, they provide a clear progressive path to cultivate these strengths that we've mentioned. So now let's move on to the next subtopic, which is cultivating self-awareness. How do we cultivate self-awareness? It's important to know that self-awareness is there to form the foundation of mental health strength, because it helps you to recognize your emotions. It helps us to recognize emotions, to recognize our thoughts patterns and triggers before they spiral out of condition. So without this awareness, reaction can feel automatic and overwhelming. So in order to achieve this, you start by creating small daily habits. These daily habits will encourage gentle observation of your inner world. One effective practice is regular emotional check-ins. Several times a day, pause and ask yourself what you are feeling and why. Another one is journaling. So this is another one we have the first one to be effective practice, and the second one is journaling. And journaling has to do with spending a few minutes each evening writing freely about your experiences, noticing recurring themes or patterns without judging them. You can also practice naming emotions in the moment, such as silently acknowledging this is frustration or this is disappointment and the like. Cultivating self-awareness, it revolves around mental health strengths, because it helps individuals to recognize their emotions, their thoughts patterns, how to trigger and triggers before they can spiral out of their control, be able to detect themselves emotionally more. So now move on to the next subtopic, which is establishing supportive physical and lifestyle habits. Now, the body and mind are deeply interconnected. So strong physical habits create a stable platform for mental resilience. Prioritize consistent sleep by aiming for 7 to 9 hours nightly and maintaining a regular schedule that includes winding down without screens. Nutrition plays a key, very important role, and focus on whole food such as vegetables, such as fruits, lean proteins, nuts, and healthy fats that provide steady energy and support brain function. Regular movements, even gentle daily walks or stretching, releases endorphins, lowers stress hormones, and improves mood. Other supportive habits include staying hydrated, limiting caffeine and alcohol when they disrupt sleep or anxiety levels, and creating predictable daily routines that reduce decision fatigue. So this is different ways that we can establish supportive physical and lifestyle habits. So it just has to do with it traces back to what we consume, the kind of food that we eat. Nutrition is very important, and we should know that it plays a significant role on on establishing supportive physical lifestyle habits. Nutrition is very important. The kind of food, such as make sure you consume foods like vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, nuts, and the likes. And it also involves regular movements, even gentle daily walks. Just you don't have to be on stagnant for weeks, days, and months. You have to be able to move regularly, even gentle daily walks or stretching releases of endorphins. Just stretch your body, try to do some little exercise and stretches, lower stress hormones and the likes. It improves mood and oh. So let's move to the next subtopic, which is developing mindfulness and emotional regulation skills. Don't forget, we are focusing on how to build mental health strength. So these are the things that we need to pay attention to. It is very essential. So mindfulness and emotional regulation skills, they give you practical tools to stay present and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. So to do that, you begin with short, simple mindfulness exercises. Exercises is very essential when we're talking about building strength for against mental health issue. So exercises such as focusing on the breath for 5 minutes daily. Notice the sensation of inhaling and exhaling without trying to change it. You have another one, that you gradually expand to body scans or mindful eating. For emotional regulation, you also build a personal toolkit that includes deep breath taking, like 4 to 7 8 breathing. We also have you also try to achieve progressive muscle relaxation or grounding exercises using 5 senses. When negative thoughts arise, practice cognitive reframing by asking whether the thought is factual, helpful, or balanced, then gently shifting to a more realistic perspective. This is just a perfect and systemic way in which we can handle our mind and emotional regulations. Make sure that we take exercise, little exercise, and stretch our body when necessary. Monitor the kind our breath. When we are having negative thoughts, or when we're having mood swing, we try to practice cognitive reframing by asking necessary questions, cogent question, whether the thought is factual, whether this feeling is actually factual or helpful, or whether it is balanced. Now let's move on to the next subtopic, which is building and nurturing meaningful relationship. In this subtopic, we're looking at how to build and nurture meaningful relationship. Is not there to just build alone. It has to be meaningful, so that it will be able to help to build mental health strength in our lives. So now, strong supportive relationship are one of the most powerful protectors of mental health. Invest time in connection. You try to make sure you guys will connect with the right people with the right profile that will feel mutual and nourishing. By scheduling regular contact, even brief messages or calls. Practice open, honest communication and share your feelings when appropriate, and listen actively without rushing to fix problem. You also learn to set and maintain healthy boundaries. Though we are trying to build relationship and make sure you build and nurturing, but at least there should definitely be healthy boundaries. Politely, you try to create boundaries, healthy boundaries, politely declining requests, and also politely declining requests that consistently drain you. Any kind of request that you feel like it is affecting you and it is draining you, you politely try find means or find ways to politely ignore or reject or decline as well. So if certain relationship feel one-sided or harmful, gently create distance while seeking new connections through shared interests, community groups, or online spaces. It is this in this subtopic, trying to network and creating or making influence is very essential. Now, in conclusion, in building mental health strength, to build mental health strength is not a destination but an ongoing journey of self-awareness, intentional practice, and compassionate persistence that empowers individuals to navigate life's inevitable challenges with greater resilience and clarity. So now, by cultivating these habits such as regular mindfulness, physical movements, meaningful social connections, boundary setting, and professional support when needed, we will be able to create an inner foundation that transforms adversity into opportunities. Yes, for growth rather than overwhelming defeat. So this strength does not eliminate pain or uncertainty, but on the other hand, it equips us to respond rather than react.
uh, it encourages us to respond to any kind of challenges or issue that we are facing rather than just react. To find meaning and mean difficulty, that one is also there. And to emerge from hardship with deeper wisdom and self-trust. So this will be the end for this